everybody, this is Matt Campos at SacCityCorvette, and today we're going to give you a rundown on installing the SacCityCorvette BIG 3 voltage boosting kit. First thing you want to do is go ahead and lay out all your tools and your kit that you get. We have a ratchet with a 10mm socket, a long extension, a 5/8 wrench, a 13mm wrench, and that's all you need for tools. In the kit, we supply you with both your grounding wires, your long hot lead with your fuse block. This is your smaller hot lead that goes from your battery to your fuse block. You have two battery terminals, a bolt for your cylinder head, 13mm nut, and two 10mm nuts, and a paper towel. Three 10mm nuts, and a paper towel, and of course a card. So the first thing you want to do is, when you come to your Corvette, go ahead and disconnect your battery. Take all the power off the car. And then you want to take your, after you disconnect the battery, take your long hot wire kit with the fuse block on it. It's got a 100 amp fuse. Go ahead and slip it over your factory stud right here, and take one of those 10mm nuts and go ahead and put it on there and snug it down. Then you want to run your wires along over the top. Just kind of toss it over towards the alternator. Once you get it over there, you're going to want to go ahead and pop out this little peg right here. Lift it up to your little screwdriver, or if you have one of these pry bars, works great. Go ahead and pop that up, pull that out of there, and that allows you to move this heat shield from your battery. So you want to go ahead and kind of grab this and run your wire back behind, just like that. Then once you have that put behind there, go ahead and put this little peg back in there. You want to make sure this tab underneath is firm up against the wiper tray right here, and go ahead and snug that back down. Now, we ran our wires. This is a LS7, so your motor might be a little bit different, but run it the way it's going to look good in factory for you. But we ran ours down behind the fuel rail and along over the top of the engine, up front towards the alternator. Now, once you have it fished around the way you like and the way it fits good on your motor, whatever you have done to your car, you want to go ahead and go over to the alternator, run the wire over to the alternator, and go ahead and pull off this little rubber boot. Take your 13mm wrench or socket, if you have a socket, whatever works better for you. Go ahead and take this nut off, slip your hot lead over that nut, and go ahead and reinstall the nut. You're going to probably have to bend a little U-shape, depending on how you routed your wire, a little U-shape to send it back over the front. And we also had to cut a little notch out of the bottom of this rubber to allow the wire to drop out of the bottom. But then once you're done with that, go ahead and put your wire, or put your rubber piece back over the top. It's a protector to make sure nothing arcs out on it. So go ahead and do that, then you're done over on this side. Then the next thing you want to do is, on your factory wiring, you're going to have to remove these the terminals that it comes with from the factory, and you're going to have to kind of wiggle them out of this rubber. You just got to do a little pulling, a little wiggling. They'll pop out of that rubber, and install one of the supplied factory ones that you get from SacCityCorvette. Just go ahead and push it back through, and screw it back into your hot lead, and snug it down with a 5/8 wrench. Then you take the shorter wire coming off the terminal, run it however fits your car, but we just ran ours along down low, and slip it right over the end of the terminal. Then take your smaller gauge wire. This one goes from your battery terminal to your fuse block on the car, the actual fuse block. You can either just pop off this little cover right here or remove the whole cap. But what we did is ran ours down along underneath, back over the top, and go ahead and slip it right over this factory stud. And with the supplied nut, go ahead and finger tighten that down. And once you have the wire on this, go ahead and finger tighten that down. Make sure you put your star washer, then your nut. So go ahead and finger tighten that down. Once you have everything routed, aim the right angles. As you see the small wire, we aimed straight down. This one's kind of coming off at a 7, 8 o'clock angle somewhere in there and goes back to the fuse block. Then once you have it routed the way you want, go ahead and snug everything up and you're done with your hot side. Now for the grounding kit, or the grounding side, your negative cables, go over to the front of your car, take the cable that's labeled cylinder head to frame, and you want to take on this factory stud, go ahead and slip the cable right over this factory stud right here. And the 10 millimeter nut, go ahead and put that on just finger tight. And that's supplied. It's a self-locking nut, so you don't have to worry about any thread locker or anything like that. So go ahead and put that on just finger tight for now. And we ran ours back kind of around the front, underneath these hoses, and bring it around to the front of the cylinder head, and with the supplied bolt, go ahead and finger tighten that in there also. Then once you have it all at the right angles that you like and it's all going to flow smoothly, go ahead and snug your bolt down and your 10 millimeter nut on that front stud. Then once you have that set up the way you like it, go ahead and come back to the front, and now is when you want to pull out your factory terminal out of your negative side and install the supplied terminal that you get with your kit. Go ahead and push that back into the rubber and snug it down with a 5/8 wrench. Then once you have that installed, this is the only wire that's kind of difficult to install. I'm going to give you a few tricks on how to do it. This is going to be the wire that's labeled from frame to battery, the grounding wire, the black one. So if you see down there that little stud, that's a factory stud. It's a great grounding point, but a little hard to get to with your battery in. So what you want to do is take the wire and go ahead and bend a little L shape on it, just like that. It bends really easy. And take it and just slip it right over the top of that stud. Like that. Real simple. Then you take your ratchet, 10 millimeter socket, and this is the little SacCityCorvette tip. You can use this in a lot of different ways. But you want to take your paper towel, your little piece of paper towel, and put it over the top of the socket and shove your nut in there, and that holds your nut in place so it's not going to fall out when you're trying to put it on this stud. So once you have that, go ahead and slip the nut over the stud. Then go ahead and snug that down. Once you have it lined up, you can snug this one down while you're down there. It doesn't have to be real tight. Then you're going to need to reach down there and go ahead and remove your paper towel that's stuck over your nut. The best you can. There we go. Got the rest of that paper towel. Yeah, make sure if there's any paper towel on there, that's a ground, so you want to go ahead and remove any paper towel if you didn't get it all, like I didn't. A little paper towel got stuck. Go ahead and you crack this loose because it just got pinched. And once the nut's on there, it's not going to fall off. So that'll allow you to get the rest of the paper towel that's stuck. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Then you can go ahead and snug this bolt down again, or this nut. And once that's snugged down, pretty simple. Go ahead and take your wire, slide it down along, like so. Slip it right over that, and with your supplied star washer, you want to put that star washer on first. Go ahead and tighten that down. Grab your 13mm wrench. Oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong wrench. This is it's a 14mm wrench. My bad. So all these are 14mm. These nuts. So, and also make sure your positive's nice snug down. And that's it for the rundown on installing the grounding kit. Now, we understand every car, you might have a fast intake or different fuel rails, so just run it the way you see fit on your car. But if you come down here and look at our kit, we use all the highest grade wiring. This is factory type wire. It's high temp, high grade. All the terminals are crimped. We have the highest grade. Basically, this is all the best stuff that you can buy for your Corvette. These are stainless steel, self-locking nuts, so they're not ever going to corrode. All the wiring is heat shrink. We have heat shrink over. We put this coating over. It's just anti-chafe, and it helps it stay a little more factory looking when you run it over your wiring. This isn't your cheap like stereo hot wire kit. This is a high-end kit, so it's going to work really well. And if you look for our other video, we're going to show it in action, and you actually see a rise in the voltage. So thanks again for your purchase, and have a happy holidays, and thank you.